So tension occurs, breakdown occurs, and these are the typical ways that we take it on. Okay? We go to that avoiding, that withdrawing. I call that the octopus model. You know, oh my gosh, there's a mess, there's some tension. I'm just going to spew out the black ink and I'm going to pull away. Okay? That's one way that people take on conflict. It's like, I'm out of here. I need a bio break so bad, I just got to go. Okay, got to go right now. And then we have the smoothing, which is, well, let's just, it's okay, really. It's all right. I'm not going to keep Casey over here. I'll talk about Tim maybe or Patrick. But it's okay. Just don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. That's that smoothing over, diminishing. When something is right there in the way of a breakdown or conflict, but we're not going to talk about it. It's really okay. An amiable might tend to go to the smoothing style of addressing conflict. Then there's the forcing style, which is if smoothing is the most passive strategy with dealing with conflict, then forcing is the most aggressive style. Forcing is engaging in full-fledged battle that expects to result in a winner or loser. When you look at the barriers to performance and you look at agreements, some of you, as a way to protect yourself in the way of managing your barriers, you go to that win, lose, or right, wrong kind of way of looking at, and you manifest a lot of evidence. Well, in the past, this is the way it's been done, and nobody ever said anything about it. So why do we have to take it on right now? Or you'll get cynical, like some people I know. You get very cynical, and you kind of throw that little barb out there, a little spin, to kind of go in, you know, a little bit under the radar. So those are the forcing styles. The drivers can tend to use those a little bit more frequently. Bargaining is also a way that says, if I give you this, then I can take that. Then we can get through the conflict. So I'll take this, you take that, and you never really address the conflict. You never put it out there by saying, excuse me. You know, can I just use an example with Patrick? I won't tell him real stories, but in Patrick's line of business, as an example, you know, he's got to be really good at negotiation. And in negotiation, there's always going to be the possibility for conflict. Would you say that's true? Yes. Okay. So in negotiating and being able to manage conflict because somebody wants something and somebody else wants a little bit more, in his role, he's got to be very good at bargaining and also facilitating so that it's not like somebody gets all of this. It's like, what are we going to have the whole conflict resolved? Because otherwise it can escalate. Problem solving would be more what I heard him lay out, which is, listen, I have this agreement that's in place, and I hear that you would like to have the maximum return on blah, blah, blah. So what I think we need to do is the three of us get together and get very clear up front about the conditions of fulfillment and the payoff, or whatever it's going to be called. So that would be more of a problem-solving approach. Be fixated on exactly what you want it, how you want it. You need to be willing to listen to perspective, and be willing to create a plan that will meet and resolve the conflict. And the thing about conflict is you need to check in after you've had the conversation, which a lot of people don't do because they don't want to go back to get messy or have it potentially be messy, is to go back in and check in and say, how are we doing now? Is this working? Are we going to continue to move forward this way? See, people think that they have this problem solving and they get it done and then they just go, thank God that's over. I don't want to go back to that again. But a responsible leader working through conflict, recognizing there was a potential breakdown or was a breakdown, will always go back and check in and say, okay, how is it working now? Are we where we need to be? Checking in on that problem solving. So that's the, dotting the I and crossing the T. But because conflict is uncomfortable, sometimes we don't do it because we're like, you know what, I just want to leave it alone and hope it doesn't get messy again. Okay, it takes courage to go in and resolve conflict and declare breakdown. So the avoiding, of course, here in this lower quadrant is, low concern for others, doesn't want to make any contribution, and low concern, high level of protection for themselves. Okay, so that's that octopus there. And then we got the smoothing up here, which is high concern for others, low concern for my needs or what I want. So I'm just like, take it all. I don't want to fight. Lay it down. Take my wallet. Take my money. Just leave me alone. And then we've got The forcing, which is over here, I'm going to take care of my nest, my issues, my needs, and I am not going to be that concerned about what's wanted from the person that I'm in conflict with. And so that's high focus on myself, which is that driving, forcing, disruptive way of approaching conflict. And then the bargaining right here is I'm splitting the difference, kind of staying in the middle. Just, again, bargaining to me is very close to smoothing in a lot of respects. And the ideals we talked about is the problem solving, confronting the issues together, acknowledging it, and actively integrate both sides.